Some SUVs quit on you faster than a Walmart lawnmower, but a few are built like they'll outlive your damn grandkids. Consumer Reports just dropped their 2025 list, and these 8 rigs are the ones you'd actually bet your hard-earned money on to keep running no matter how rough you treat them. Hello everyone, this is Scott from CarlandTV. It's time to hop in the front seat because today, we're lining up the 8 SUVs Consumer Reports says will damn near run forever, and I'm going to break down which ones are worth parking in your driveway if you actually give a rip about long-term reliability. Before I start, I would really appreciate it if you would push those buttons below, the subscribe button, the notification bell, all of them. This is not necessary, but those little clicks help a brother out. Plus, it pushes me to give you more valuable car-related content on your screen. Now, buckle up, and let's get back to the video. 2025 Acura RDX. The Acura RDX ain't the loudest kid on the block, but damn if it doesn't just keep on trucking. Consumer Reports has it pegged as one of the most reliable SUVs of 2025, and that ain't fluff. It's sitting right up there in the top 5 brands for dependability. That 2-liter turbo under the hood, 272 horses, tied to a 10-speed auto that's been tuned smooth enough you barely think about it. No weird hybrid experiments, no gimmicks, just proven guts that don't crap out on you halfway down the highway. Acura doesn't cheap out on the basics either. You get Acura Watch Safety Gear Standard, SH all-wheel drive if you want that stick-like glue handling, and it's all screwed together in Ohio by folks who've been building Hondas and Acuras long enough to know what they're doing. That's a big part of why these rigs last. Tight tolerances, solid QC, none of that slapdash nonsense. Add in a 6-year or 70,000-mile powertrain warranty, and you've basically got factory-backed peace of mind baked in. Point is, if you want something with a luxury badge that won't bleed you dry at the shop, the RDX is your guy. Change the oil, keep up on brakes, and it'll eat miles all day. 2025 Honda CR-V. I'll tell you straight up, the Honda CR-V is one of those rigs I see everywhere, and there's a reason for it. I've ridden in old ones with 200 Kelvin on the dash that still started every morning like it was no big deal. Consumer Reports has the 2025 CR-V sitting above average for reliability, and Honda as a brand is ranked near the top in overall dependability. That matters, because you're not just buying wheels for today. You're buying something that won't bleed you dry 10 years from now. Behind the wheel, the CR-V just does its job without fuss. It's roomy, quiet, and smooth enough that long trips don't wear you down. I like the hybrid best, because it saves you money at the pump while still giving you decent power when you need to pass. Consumer Reports even calls the CR-V Hybrid one of the best small SUVs on the market, and I'm not arguing with them. I've driven it, and it's balanced in all the right ways. What I love most is the long game. Keep up with oil changes, brakes, and tires, and this SUV will eat highway miles for decades. I've seen more than a few hit 250 Kelvin without anything more serious than basic maintenance. That's why when people ask me what SUV to buy if they don't want to worry about it, the CR-V is always on my short list. 2025 Mazda CX5. The CX5 has this way of making every other compact SUV feel like it's half asleep. I've been behind the wheel of a bunch in this class, but the Mazda's the one that actually makes me want to take the long way home. And here's the kicker. Consumer Reports rates the 2025 CX5 above average for reliability, which means all that fun doesn't come with repair bills waiting to gut you later. That's built off real owner data from the last few model years, not just marketing. Mazda keeps the setup simple, and that's why it lasts. You can grab the standard 2.5-liter 4 with 187 horsepower, or step up to the turbo version that'll give you as much as 256 ponies on premium. Both are tied to a good old 6-speed automatic that doesn't play games. It shifts clean, doesn't hunt around, and has proven itself year after year. No funky CVTs, no glitchy dual clutches, just a gearbox that gets the job done. And since all-wheel drive is standard now, you don't have to sweat traction when the weather turns sideways. I've seen these rigs cross the 150 Kelvin mark, with nothing but oil changes, brakes, and fresh tires. That lines up perfectly with what CR's reliability charts are saying. Plus, it's one of the only SUVs in its class that actually feels like it was tuned for someone who still enjoys driving sharp steering, solid suspension, not a snooze fest. Bottom line, the CX5 isn't just reliable. It's one of the rare SUVs that proves you don't have to give up fun to get longevity. 2025 Subaru Crosstrek. That Crosstrek? It's not just a compact SUV. It's a reliable sidekick that's ready for dust, mud, or your daily grind. Consumer Reports predicts the 2025 Crosstrek will outlast the average new car, thanks to solid data from the 2024 model year. Subaru even snagged the title of Most Reliable Brand in 2025, and the Crosstrek's right there among their top recommended rides. Here's what you need under the hood. The base trims have a 2-liter boxer flat, 4 pushing 152 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque, while the premium, sport, limited, and wilderness trims bring more muscle with the 2.5-liter boxer 4, cranking out 182 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. Both come with the Lineartronic CVT and standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. If you're hauling gear, the wilderness model's got the goods. It's got 9.3 inches of ground clearance, an upgraded CVT cooler, a lower final drive ratio, and can tow up to 500 pounds, while every other trim caps at 1,500 pounds. I've driven these through rain, rocks, and school runs. It's not a racer, but with that all-wheel drive and off-road tech like dual-function X mode, it handles terrain without flinching. The 2025 Crosstrek got real engine specs and real capability. Keep up basic maintenance, oil, brakes, tires, and this rig will keep clocking miles while you focus on the ride. 2025 Lexus NX Hybrid. The first time I drove the NX Hybrid, I couldn't believe a compact luxury SUV could pull nearly 40 miles per gallon and still hustle from 0 to 60-inch just over 7 seconds. That's what you get with the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder paired with Lexus's dual-motor hybrid setup, the same proven bones Toyota's been using in the RAV4 Hybrid, just dressed sharper and tuned smoother. What makes this rig stand out isn't just the fuel economy, it's the reliability record. Consumer Reports ranks Lexus at the very top of the charts for 2025, and the NX Hybrid is expected to be more reliable than the average new car. I've seen owners piling on miles without a single hybrid hiccup, and that's the real-world confirmation you want before dropping luxury money. The NX doesn't slack on hardware either. You've got available E4 all-wheel drive, a standard CVT that never jerks you around, and warranties that cover the hybrid system for 8 years or 100,000 miles. Inside, Lexus stacks in the safety suite, wireless CarPlay, heated seats, and a 9.8-inch touchscreen standard. You can opt for a 14-inch if you want, but the reliability doesn't hinge on bells and whistles. So yeah, it's not the flashiest Lexus, but it's the one I'd bet will still be running clean when the neighbor's German crossovers are stuck in the shop. 2025 Lexus UX. I'll be honest, the Lexus UX Hybrid surprised me. I figured a small luxury crossover like this would be more about style than substance, but Consumer Reports says otherwise. The 2025 UX is predicted to be more reliable than the average new car, and that lines up with Lexus holding one of the top reliability scores of any brand in 2025. Power comes from a 2-liter inline-4 paired with Lexus's hybrid system, good for a combined 196 horsepower. It's not a drag racer, but it moves plenty quickly for city and highway runs, and you'll see a killer 43 miles per gallon combined if you go with the front-wheel drive version. All-wheel drive is available too, which I'd pick just for the extra grip in rain and snow. Where it really earns points is longevity. Lexus covers that hybrid battery for 10 years or 150,000 miles, and the rest of the powertrain gets 6 years or 70,000 miles. That's peace of mind baked in, and you won't find German luxury rigs giving you that kind of safety net. Inside, it feels every bit a Lexus. Standard heated seats, Lexus Safety System Plus 3.0, and a slick 9.8-inch touchscreen with wireless CarPlay. You can even opt for a 12.3-inch screen if you want to go big. So yeah, the UX isn't the biggest SUV, but it's one of those set-it-and-forget-it rides. Reliable, efficient, and backed by a brand that doesn't cut corners, that's why it earns its spot on the 2025 list. 2025 Toyota RAV4. The RAV4 is that no-drama daily I'd hand the keys to without thinking twice, because the 2025 model is predicted by Consumer Reports to be much more reliable than the average new SUV, built off owner data from the 2022 to 2024 model years. Toyota as a brand also sits in CR's top tier for 2025, so you're not betting on a one-off unicorn here. Here's what I like about the hardware. The gas RAV4 runs Toyota's 2.5-liter dynamic force, 4 rated at 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet, paired to a direct-shift 8-speed automatic with front or all-wheel drive. Toyota quotes 30 miles per gallon for a LE front-wheel drive, which lines up with the real-world efficiency I've seen. If you want better mileage without babysitting a plug, the RAV4 Hybrid uses the 2.5-plus dual electric motors for 219 combined horsepower, an ECVT, and standard AWD, returning up to 41 miles per gallon in the city and 38 miles per gallon on the highway by third-party testing. Practical stuff checks out, too. Cargo space is generous for the class, and most gas trims are rated to tow up to 1,500 pounds, which covers small trailers and weekend toys. Safety is solid overall, but I'll call it straight. In IIHS's tougher, updated, moderate overlap test, the 2025 RAV4 scored moderate, while most other subtests remain good. Reliability is the story here, not a brand new crash test trophy. Bottom line from my seat. The RAV4 earns its spot on any lasts forever list because the powertrains are proven, the hybrid system is mature, and Consumer Reports data says you'll spend more time driving than wrenching. If you're cross-shopping a CR-V or Forester, this Toyota deserves a hard look for long-term peace of mind. 2025 Subaru Forester. The Forester is that compact SUV I buy once and keep for a decade. Consumer Reports predicts the 2025 Forester will be much more reliable than the average new car, and that lines up with Subaru keeping proven bits in this 6th-gen redesign. Power's simple and stout. A 2.5-liter Subaru Boxer flat, 4 rated at 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet, paired with the Lineartronic CVT and standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. No weird transmissions to babysit when the weather turns sideways. Ground clearance sits at 8.7 inches on most trims. The Wilderness rides at 9.2 inches, adds hardware like an auxiliary transmission cooler and shorter final drive, and bumps tow capacity to 0 pounds. Most other trims are 1,500 pounds, which is plenty for a small trailer or toys. Space is honest-to-God usable. The base trim gives you 29.6 cubic feet behind the second row and 74.4 cubic feet with seats down. Other trims with the panoramic roof show 27.5 cubic feet behind the second row and 69.1 cubic feet with seats down. That's legit room for coolers, camping bins, the dog, whatever your weekend looks like. Safety is pretty much dialed. For 2025, the Forester earns an IIHS top safety pick. However, this excludes Wilderness, with good small overlap and side scores, and acceptable in the updated moderate overlap test. Eyesight driver assist is standard, and the headlight score is good. Put it together and you've got a simple, proven setup that racks miles without drama. This is the one I daily commute, haul gear, hit rutted fire roads, because the spec sheet, the crash sheet, and CR's reliability call all point the same way. This will last long.